Hello everybody and welcome back to Crypto Simplified. There has been a slight market pullback, but it's not a dip in any way. Irrespective, I want to get away from all that negativity and just talk about one project that has actually weathered the storm of this bear market pretty well. It's called NULS, but before I get into that, thank you all for the likes, the subscriptions, the shares. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just sharing my opinions on cryptocurrency. If you do like what I say, if you like hearing what I have to say, do subscribe. Click on that bell button, tweet at me, send me a message. I'm always open to some cryptocurrency discussion. So let's get right into this video then. What is NULS and why do I like it so much? Full disclosure, I do own a bit of NULS, but I don't own a whole bunch. Lots of people hold NULS and lots of YouTubers have been talking about it. I am not trying to shield the coin. I just want to have a look at what makes it special. So, what is it? It is a modular blockchain solution for enterprise. Sounds like a whole bunch of buzzwords, but I shall get into the details about this a little later. The team is mainly Chinese, but the company is registered in Singapore, so they have managed to skirt those Chinese ICO regulations. But on the other hand, they are recognized by the Chinese High-Tech Industrial Association, and they've been given a whole bunch of awards on behalf of the Chinese state. So let's look at the USP. What is this company all about? There are sort of 4 pillars as to what makes these guys different. I'll look into all of them in a bit of detail, but just letting you know what they are first. A modular architecture, a multi-chain mechanism, a new consensus algorithm called proof of credit, as well as a simplified smart contract method. So I shall look at the 3 simpler concepts all in one go. The modular aspect, the smart contracts, as well as the sidechain, since you should probably be more or less familiar with these ideas and how they sort of work. You must have heard about the CryptoKitties situation that slowed down the entire Ethereum network. NULS wants to eliminate the possibility of this happening on their network by decoupling applications from the main net, but still being able to have these applications interact with the main blockchain. I don't want to bore you with the technical details of it, but I shall attach all the information that you will need to get completely read up about this in the description. They are sort of marketing themselves as the WordPress of blockchain platforms, in the sense that if you aren't a very technically inclined person, you can easily start up a blog on WordPress because the default settings are really good. The whole system is very, very user-friendly. But if you are a coder, if you are specialized in coding and blockchain and cryptography, you can always get the more powerful bespoke tools that are for programmers. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but it's a fairly adaptable solution. And that is basically what they want. They want to future-proof their entire model by making it very easy to replace parts that get outdated and letting people cut and paste certain aspects of what they want from the functionality of this blockchain into a side chain in order for them to get the most of what the blockchain solutions like NULS can offer. This is targeted at businesses, and businesses might not want all their operations on a public ledger. So it's very possible for them to have side chains, but they need to pay a little extra for this. And by paying for these side chains, they're actually putting money back into the system to help pay for credit rewards, the proof of credit rewards. And this leads on to proof of credit. What's all this about? Well, to put simply, it is a little bit of proof of stake plus a little bit of masternode stuff with much more rigid rules and punishments. The whole point of this is to incentivize people to put a whole bunch of tokens into the system to stake them, i.e. lock them up so that they cannot be transferred or used in the economy, so therefore increasing the scarcity. In order to create an agent node, which is what they call these reference points on the system, you need to put 200,000 NULS up for staking. This will not come from just one person. There will be 2 different types of participants in the system. The first one is the agent owner, and there will only be 1 per agent node, and they need to put up 20,000 NULS, and lock these into the system, and they cannot spend these nulls at all. In order to make up the remaining 180,000 credits that are needed to get this node functioning, it requires the presence of premium stakers. Each staker needs to provide a minimum of 2,000 nulls. It can go up to 20,000 nulls, because would you really want to be a premium staker and provide more than 20,000 nulls? Not really. Just start up your own node, because you'll get way more rewards if you are the agent owner. However, the responsibilities of the agent owners are you cannot let your node go down. You will get warned, i.e. a yellow card if your node goes offline, or you can get a red card for malicious behavior. There is a major distinction between the two, because a yellow card is sort of a mistake or slightly irresponsible behavior, while a red card is for malicious actors in the system, and they're using game theory and a whole bunch of really rigid punishments to get back at people who are trying to actively be malicious in this network and to create things like double spending and stuff like that. Do check out the links on the description if you want details on the punishment. This video is just a bit of an overview as to what this is about. I won't delve into the nitty-gritty of it all. Then let's have a look at the team and the partnerships. I will not get into too much detail on the team, like how I do my other videos where I go through everyone's LinkedIn pages and stuff, just because there isn't that much info available on them. But what I found online is that most of the team is from this blockchain-based company called InChain, which is a counterfeiting solution. China is known around the world for making knockoff products, and I think that's a very, very unfair title that's been given to them, because a lot of the good stuff comes from there too, which is how this knockoff stuff can be made, because of the access to the good stuff. However, there is a very, very serious problem. This happened almost 10 years ago with baby food tampering, and lots of infants fell ill because of a problem in the supply chain, and there were less than optimum products being used and sold. So this company InChain is a bit of a response to what happened then, and the baby food aspect of their business is a very key part of it. So there is a need for an anti-counterfeiting company, and this extends far beyond baby food, of course, because there's lots of stuff that can be counterfeited in this economy. So InChain wants to be the go-to company for verifying how genuine a product is. As a matter of fact, the idea of nulls came out as a result of people on the InChain team finding a few vulnerabilities in the system, and they needed their own blockchain platform in order to make the InChain system work. And as a result, there will be integration between InChain and nulls at the end of the year. There's also a partnership with BitShares, but we don't really know what that's all about. There isn't too much information on it, but there is a photo of two members signing papers. This slide seems a little small because there is one massive partnership that actually requires its own slide, and this is Chongqing. For those of you who do not know much about Chinese geography, here is a quick lesson. There are certain zones in China called direct control municipalities, and these are basically cities and provinces in one, sort of like Singapore, but in China we have Beijing, Shanghai, and Tianjin. This area, Chongqing, has over 30 million inhabitants, and this is one of the many initiatives that the Chinese government has with Singapore. This is so that they can have slightly different rules in these areas compared to the rest of the country, and this will make up a major part of the, according to Indians, fairly controversial One Belt, One Road initiative that goes from the coast of China all the way to Europe. So this is going to be one of these hot spots of development in China, and one of 9 areas that the government has specified that will be key for blockchain development in the country. There are some really ambitious goals by 2020, so it's less than 2 years away, but they want to have 2 to 5 industrial bases for blockchain technology in Chongqing, as well as 10 leading companies and 50 core blockchain enterprises. So these guys are taking blockchain very, very seriously, especially from a government level. while they are banning ICOs and the potential for people to lose a lot of money in scams, they are very, very serious about blockchain technology forming a key part of a new economy of which China really wants to be a world leader. There's lots and lots of writing about how China are planting entire new forests and how they are leading the world in electric vehicle manufacture. This could just be another string to their bow on how they want to plan for future world domination. So you folks might need to learn a lot more Chinese geography if they actually meet these goals that they're setting. So watch this space. China is here to disrupt the world. So this is just one part of the goals of NULS. The rest of the 2018 roadmap does look very promising as well, because we're currently in March right now and they are testing their main net as well as having a meetup in Singapore for investors, interested parties, as well as developers. The launch of the NULS main net in May coincides quite nicely with the launch of the PC and mobile wallets, because currently the NULS token is an ERC20 token that you should be storing on your MyEther wallet, not on an exchange, store it on MyEther wallet, and then you can move it from there to their native wallet. However, since the new token may or may not be an ERC20 token since it's on a native blockchain, they'll give us more information as the time comes as to what we're going to be doing about moving things up and down. And then finally in December, the smart contract module should be totally ready for business use. And then in-chain will integrate into the NULS system as a sort of first mover thing, just so they can iron out the kinks in their platform. So it's only going to be happening step by step. This is still a very early stage company, but things are looking good so far. Next up, a company is only as good as the competition that's pushing it on. So let's see which of the competitors in this space. In terms of enterprise blockchains, we have Dragon Chain and Neblio. This is by no means an exhaustive list of enterprise blockchains, but these are the ones that I think are the most serious competitors to NULS. Of course, NULS is by far the smallest company out of all of these, but I think NULS can look at these two companies I've spoken of as a target to see how they can grow their brand. And the third one is Komodo. Not necessarily an enterprise blockchain, but they are a modular blockchain. So I should consider all these three as competitors. The easiest way just to look at all three of these are by side-by-side comparison. NULS has a long way to go to match the market cap of these competitors, but in terms of 24-hour trading volume, they are in a league of their own. $4.5 million traded in the last 24 hours. These guys are looking like a fairly popular pick, but this could be because they are in the green in a massive market pullback. So I shall watch this space. If they can sustain this sort of volume, we can definitely see some massive positive growth. But only time will tell. The current price is at $3.30. If these tokens are even going to match the Neblio market cap, which is the next rung, let's say, in terms of the competitors, they can double their price. So let's just watch this space. I'm not going to count my chickens or anything. Let's just see how this goes, because we are in a bear market. And next up, let's look at the exchanges where you can buy yourself some NULS. The largest volume is coming from Bitsy, a Chinese exchange. Binance, the largest exchange in the world, has also listed these tokens, as well as OKX and Coinbene. I, however, chose to buy mine on KuCoin because I found the price was about 6% lower than on Binance at the time. Now the prices are more or less the same, but it's always good to be a member of several exchanges just to make the most of these price differences. I'm not telling you to look for arbitrage opportunities with your assets. I'm just saying that it might be a lot easier to save a few cents here and there, because a few cents can add up to a significant amount over the long run. Let's say if you're trading for a few years, saving a few cents here and there can really mean something big. So now that I've given you all this information, let me tell you about my entry points. Again, I must reiterate, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just my working And these are my lines in the sand. So what we have is the green line is the support line. The red line is the resistance line. And I put my support at just under 25,000 Satoshi. The resistance line is in between 40,000 Satoshi and 36,000 Satoshi. So we do have a fair bit of up and down movement between those spaces. It's not like it's a flat line. There is movement and significant movement going on over here. However, this asset is a little up right now. So I'm not really comfortable paying the price where it's currently at in order to buy any more. However, I will delve in again if it reaches that purple line. And looking at the way the asset has been moving, it may well could reach that purple line. So between 30,000 Satoshi and 25,000 Satoshi is where I would be comfortable buying some more. However, I have also put in that blue line for my exit points. I will not completely clean out my holdings. Never, ever, ever. I only want to sell about 10 to 15% of my holdings at 10% lower than the all-time high. Because I think there will be a bit of a drop once it reaches that all-time high. So I do want to cash in a bit and then buy some more when it goes back down to an acceptable point. So I'm looking at this in several ways. I'm not going to sell my whole stake because this is for me a hodl coin. They've only just started. This is a company less than 6 months old. And I really want to make sure that I can get the benefit of a bunch of gains in terms of the longer game. I am a hodler. This is a project that I think could really do some great things. And compared to its competitors, it could probably grow 2, 3, 4x at least. And not financial advice, but that's what I think could happen. And that's sort of the profit margin that I'm waiting for. So that's it from me. If you like my take on NULS and you are new here, do subscribe. And for all of you, please leave a like. Leave a comment if you agree with my analysis. Leave some constructive criticism if you disagree with my analysis. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. This is Mark from Crypto Simplified signing off. You folks take care of yourself in this bear market, and we will catch up very, very soon. Later.